Hi, folks. Welcome to the 45th presentation, 43 recorded, hosted by AlmonTravel, CARP, and tonight Exodus Travels, held every Tuesday at 6:30 Atlantic time. As in the past, this presentation is being recorded and will be on the CARP Travel website shortly after. A bit about us, as I always do at the beginning of these presentations, we've been in business since 2003. That's about 18 and a half years now. We have a number of specialties. We have done destination weddings, actually 130 of them from across Canada, down in the Caribbean area. And as a result of the exploration that we have done to check out the resorts, we also have a very good knowledge for people that want to do adult only or family vacations. And destination weddings may not be a real part of this demographic, but if you look at anniversaries, you look at retirement get-togethers and so on, we certainly have the experience to be able to develop a group to be able to send you off. We also are experts in Florida, particularly the theme parks in Florida. And again, for extended family, we've been to places like Universal Studios, Walt Disney World, SeaWorld, Discovery Cove, and Busch Gardens, several times for each of them. And because they're such massive theme parks, it really pays to have a travel agent to help you organize those. River cruises, probably our biggest specialty. We've done 10 itineraries around the world, including in Asia, 2 in Vietnam, 1 the Mekong with the wonderful Cambodia, as well as the Red River in the north, which is a cultural experience. We've done the Yangtze in China, again, a cultural experience, but it was a cruise tour. So at the beginning and the end, we got a chance to see different parts of China, which was absolutely wonderful. We've done the Nile in Egypt, also on a cruise tour, and probably one of my favorite trips that I've ever taken. And we've also done the Rhine and Danube in Europe, as well as the Rhone in southern France. Got introduced to wine appreciation on the Rhone. And we also did the Douro River in Europe, where we were exposed to good port and brought that love of port back with us. We've done the Po River in Italy, which was a wonderful way to be able to see Venice, because you docked in Venice for much of that. And finished with an old-fashioned paddle wheeler on the Mississippi, which had wonderful excursions, but the boat itself was worth the trip. So very, very interesting there. We can help you with that. Ocean cruises, the most popular itineraries. We've done Hawaii, which really has to be done with Norwegian Cruise Line. The Mediterranean, we've done the 3 different Caribbean itineraries. We did a cruise around the UK and experienced the 4 countries within the UK. That was pretty neat. We've cruised from New Zealand to Australia to get a little bit of experience down under. And we've also done Alaska and can help you with that. Coach tours, from local bubble tours, like a tour of Newfoundland and Labrador, to coach tours around the world. We work with a variety of touring companies to find the best option for you. Travel conditions, as I talk about at the beginning of every presentation, Nova Scotia, latest situation is about 80% of the population, but starting within the next few days, children will be able to be inoculated. And I expect that that'll bring us up to between 90 and 95% by the time that is finished. And vaccination, folks, I think they're going to be the key to comfortable travel, for the near future, for sure. The fact that U.S. border is open for Canadian travelers, although vaccinations and COVID testing will be important factors on the return, that's eye-opening and good news. And I think eventually the fact that there will be no COVID testing required for anybody going away for 3 days or fewer may extend to those who are going for longer trips too. One very good sign that travel has started to return to normal is the fact that some insurance companies are offering during trip COVID coverage. You can't cancel due to COVID, but if you contract the disease and need to quarantine at destination, many of your costs to do so will be covered. And we've learned from one big travel insurance company that there will be COVID coverage available for cruising as well, even though there is a level 4 advisor. You can call me for more details. My connection with CARP is through Bill Van Gorder, who is the COO and Chief Policy Officer for CARP National, as well as the founding chair for CARP Nova Scotia, in addition to being a senior spokesman for CARP in the Maritimes. I grew to know Bill by being on the board of a charitable organization that he and another gentleman founded called 100 Men Who Give a Damn. In the period of its existence, we raised about $400,000, which all went to the charitable institutions, all local in Halifax area. In the course of my board duties, I grew to know Bill quite well, and he asked us to book him on a couple of trips. One was a river cruise in Europe. One was a cross-country train trip with a Rocky Mountaineer train trip through the Rockies. So as a result of the experience that we gave him booking for him, he asked us if we would be the official agency of CARP Nova Scotia, and we of course accepted. I'd like to introduce now Tony Perdomo, who is the Senior Business Development Manager, Eastern USA and Canada, who will be talking to us tonight about what Exodus Travels offers, and I'm just in general, and specifically this evening, the special relation that Exodus has with the Royal Canadian Geographic Society and the Africa Wildlife Foundation, and what special trips that they have developed together. So Tony, if you could take over, please.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. Thanks for letting me know about wonderful trips that you've been on and what's coming up next. And I'm telling you, once the temperatures keep dropping some more, people are going to be get me out of here. What am I doing? I've been here for 2 years, right? So once again, welcome everybody. I'm going to talk to you today about Exodus Travels. But before we get there, who was the person that brought me here today? You got it right here. It's Danny from AlmonTravel. I'm going to put this slide at the end as well. But of course, you know, this is going to be recorded. So if anybody needs to go anywhere, that's fine. And of course, you can find all future presentations and any past recordings on that website there. So by all means, let's go and talk about some Exodus Travels, right? So myself, I will tell you this right now. I'm very, very, very proud to be part of this adventure travel company, and people are already freaking out like, what is adventure? Am I jumping between, am I jumping on a kayak between hotels? Am I bungee jumping? What am I doing? I'm like, I'm going to explain to you what that is. But before we get there, who is Exodus Travels? Why are they giving me such a nice hoodie in 2021? Well, you know, we've been around for about 47 years, and what you're seeing is that footage of the first ever trip that we did from London to Afghanistan all the way to the Himalayas, believe it or not. That's right, one trip back in 1974. As you can see the pictures there, whoa, we're talking some epic adventures right now. Keep this in mind. The same sense of spirit and wondering, what can I do? What can I explore? I want to see some new things. It's still there. But obviously, there's nicer hotels, there's concrete, right? There's pavement. We can drive on things. Yes, so things have improved a lot more, but the sense of adventure is still there since day one, right? So we've been around for 47 years. What is it that we do? Small group adventure travel. And explain what adventure is, again, because when I told my folks that, hey, I'm going to go work as an adventure tour leader, and I did it for 8 years, there's like, you're not going to get insurance. You're never going to come home. It's like that. Well, I'm home and so on. But you're right. It's all about the experiences. And I'm going to take you through that in the next 31 minutes or so, right? But again, that we've been around since 1974 and 47 years and counting, right? So here's a little bit of a clip about our COVID efforts, because we want everyone here to know that when it comes to this, we have something beautiful for you. So I'm just going to play this video right here. And now this video was not shot in 2019. This was actually last fall. Okay, and last fall, we ended up going to the Dolomites, and we had a trip out there that was absolutely stunning. And as you can see here, we're making sure that not only when you book with us, can you feel confident should something happen to you? Wait, the country won't let me out. What happens with my money? Don't worry, we have you covered and we'll give you a refund. What happens if one of your members gets COVID? We have those there as well. But the other big thing we want to know is, what about at destination? What's going on? Are you working with a company? Like, how do I know my trip in Namibia is safe? So as you can see here, we work with a lot of foreign companies out there to make sure that the local governments, the local places, the local regions are all up to standard. Like you can see here, the hotels. And this is great. I love showing you this video because I can tell you all at once, like, well, you know what, when you get to the hotel, you're gonna have a mask, you're gonna do this. No, but you can see right there and then what it is happened, what we did and what did happen back in, I think it was this was September of last year, so just about a year ago. And again, we're all aiming for a stress-free travel experience, right? So you can book with confidence, you can travel with confidence. Danny has all this information, but I will say is that you're in really good hands because, you know, we need to be flexible nowadays. Say we don't know what's happening. Today's, you know, the third week of November. You may watch this the next week, or you may watch this 2 weeks from now and realize, oh, a lot has changed since then, right? But something that has not changed since day one is the fact that for us, ever since our first trip, we always said we need to make sure that we're doing things responsibly, right? Nothing worse than being a truck driver and also like flicking your cigarettes out the window and not recycling and who cares? Well, I'm not gonna be here again. That's not us, and we'll never be like that. We want to make sure that responsible travel is performed in all levels. So we're making sure that the people benefit from our visit, okay? Which I'll explain to you what it is that we do, the place as well, and the planet. So of course, we want to make sure that everybody gets involved in this. And one thing that's really, really hits me here is that we launched a foundation about 4 years ago, which is so beautiful. Through donations through our clients, we're able to help out in many ways. Number one, there are some projects that you will get to see firsthand when you go, for example, to, hey, who likes to go to the Annapurnas? Hands up. Okay. Well, I know I saw some hands up there, but when you go to the Annapurnas, you're going to be going at 5,000 meters above sea level. You're going to see an internet cafe where we purchased and we helped out not only to have connectivity for an internet cafe, help out the community, but also a water heater and a solar panel, which is so nice to have that because again, at 5,000 meters, it's tough to get all these other things out there, right? But not only projects that you'll see that, you know, firsthand when you're there, but also some projects where, for example, on the kids on the top right over here, they're having a good time. They're smiling. Why? Because we took about 1,500 kids back in 2019 and 2018 on educational day trips where our leaders devoted their time. We paid for them to pass on the knowledge to the new generation. And it wasn't just fun and games like these kids are having here on a boat, having a good time and having sandwiches. No, some of them actually got to learn when they went to the Masai Mara, went to Machu Picchu, even the Museum of Anthropology in Mexico City. So think about that, right? And of course, some projects are, hey, we get involved in that. We do. 4,000 trees planted in Ladakh region, way up north in northern India. But you know what? Enough about me talking and telling you what we're doing. Why don't we see firsthand so then you know it's on the record? So last year, you know, we only had about 4 months of travel. Let's be honest, right? The whole world shut down by March and we snuck in about a month of travel in the fall. We are still promising and we kept our promise to deliver and continue our efforts to make sure that communities are not left out during this time that nobody's visiting for a year and a half or so, right? So this is some of the numbers. This is some of the things that we have done, we've accomplished. And you saw the first slide with the 10 female porters in Kilimanjaro. Is 10 per year for the next 3 years. So it's going to be 30 females that we're taking into our school, teaching them English so they become porters, assistant guides, and guides. That's the way we like to work, right? So anyways, what is Exodus Travels? Because we've been here for about 8 minutes. I still don't know what you guys do. No problem. Here we go. Ready? Small group adventure travel. How wonderful is that? So small group, meaning you're talking about joining a group of 12 to 16 people maximum on the majority of our trips. Of course, if you go to Antarctica, it's a different story. We know that, right? So in terms of kind of clients that we get, we're looking at about 2/3 that are solo travelers. And here's the best thing. I'm a solo traveler. I always want to go see the gorillas. I don't want to go to the zoo. I want to go to Africa. I want to go to Uganda and see it. Stay tuned for that. But some of my friends don't want to go because I think they think I'm too wild for them, right? It's okay. If you travel by yourself, you don't have to pay a single supplement. I know other operators will say, hey, you travel by yourself? You're going to pay an extra one. We don't do that, right? So small group, 12 to 16 people. Now, who's taking me around from A to B? Think about this. We have local leaders that have been around for 30 plus years working with us. Some of them 1 year, some 5 years, 10 years. As you can see here, we have some phenomenal ornithologists, marine biologists. We have published authors. We have people that are true expedition leaders, which is what we're going to be talking about today. Jose right there with the map. You see that guy? he created a map for the tours that we use in the Sierra de Aitana mountain range in Spain. So you are in good hands. What we are not are the type of tours where you come into a day, hey, we're here for 2 nights. See you on Saturday. It's not like that. We make sure, okay, let's hang out today because we have something included. Let's hang out tomorrow. You want to hang out with me? You can. You don't have to. And then we'll have dinner together. So you have a nice little flow of me time and you time, right? Which is so beautiful. Now, in terms of quality leaders, you get them from all over the world. And in speaking of quality, Danny, I think I told you this, but I'm going to tell you this one more time. The Wanderlust Travel magazine in the UK, massive publication, had its awards about 2 weeks ago. The winner for the world, okay, not for one region, for the world, was our very own Valerie Parkinson. And she got the Guide of the Year award. And she is going and she's leading 2 of our expeditions that we're going to be talking about. We're not going to talk about those 2 today, but just let you know, expeditions in general, she's leading 2 of them, including, did you read that? Search for the snow leopards. That is very true. We actually took the BBC crew to film the snow leopards after they made this debut on planet Earth too. Phenomenal, right? Okay, but where am I spending the nights? So I know who's going on the trips. I know who's taking me out from a beach. Where am I sleeping? Because I like to know. Here's the responsible travel part. You ready? Remember we said we want the place and the people to benefit from our visits? So that's why we only use locally owned, family-run hotels everywhere possible. Okay, a couple exceptions. We'll get there. But in the majority, you saw that converted farmhouse, you'll meet the owners. The owners are phenomenal, welcome, and they're happy to have us all here, which is so nice. But not only converted farmhouse, we have hotels anywhere from 3 to 5 stars. So we have boutique hotels, converted farmhouses, mountain lodges. What else do we have, Danny? What else do we have? Well, we got some nice rainforest lodges, alpine lodges, 700-year-old castle, manor houses. Like we even do a couple camping trips. It's really up to you, whatever you want to do, which is what I really, really love, right? So everything is going to be locally owned, which is so perfect. Again, we want the people and the place to benefit from our visit. And you can see this wonderful little video right there, the Esquinas Rainforest Lodge. That is an actual hotel that is featured that where you, if you go on the RCGS Costa Rica trip, this is that one property you'll be staying at for 2 nights. Very eco-friendly, which is quite beautiful. Okay, so anyways, all of our trips, all of our adventure, it doesn't matter. Are you going to be active? Because we do some active stuff. Or are you going to kick back, relax, and get the camera going? And oof, I'm getting some good bicep workouts from all these pictures, right? Everything's graded from a level 1. We're still going to be friends by the end of the week. I'm not asking you to put on your Fitbit and check your pulse. Of course, we have those kind of trips that you can see them right there, all the way to like level 7, because we do other fun active trips. But what kind of trips do we do, Danny? So we're talking about small ship cruises, going to the Maldives for 12 people. That Zafiro, that's right. Zafiro, that boat itself is in the Amazon in Peru, 38 people. Not bad, right? We also have family trips. If you want to bring your family along, we have some wonderful trips to get them started in the adventure spirit since they're young. We got some winter trips. And then I did mention active, right? Okay, hey, slow down. We're not talking about active travel today. But we do have some walking, hiking, trekking, and of course, cycling trips. And all of those are guided. But for anybody out there tuning in, is like, I don't like groups. I don't like groups. No one tells me what to do. Great, no problem. Well, we have self-guided active travel for you as well. So just keep that in mind, okay? So, but what we're going to be talking about today is 2 different styles, which is a cultural side where you have expedition leaders or just regular tour leaders, depending where you're going, showing you around the country. Let's hang out today. We got something included. Tomorrow we got a free day, and the list goes on and on. And the other theme is going to be wildlife as well. So we do have cultural and wildlife theme trips for this next little 20 minutes that we have here, right? So as Danny was mentioning today, what the RCGS, what is that, right? So I'll talk to you about the Royal Canadian Geographic Society. We have a brand new partnership with them for the last couple of years. These trips were meant to run last year, but yeah, you know what happened. So we're going to run them again for 2022, which is so phenomenal. So you can see here, we have a photography one in Kenya. I'm going to talk to you about Morocco and Egypt and another one as well. And in addition to this as well, we also have a phenomenal partnership with the African Wildlife Foundation, which I'll talk about first, right? And all of these expeditions are found here. Like I said, we got the one with Valerie, we got to go to Borneo. It's like, where are we going? Sri Lanka? That is an actual an actual ornithologist name, Pepper Trail. That's the name, okay? I was confused too. I'm like, I don't know what this is. Anyways, so Let's talk first about the African Wildlife Foundation. Phenomenal partnership with these guys. They've been there for 60 years. Their main goal is to make sure, again, similar to our foundation, the people, the community, the wildlife, that's the important thing. Everything's going to be conserved, as well as making sure that the global leaders get to follow more in pursuit, because there's nothing worse than the poaching and killing, all these wonderful animals just for this. Or just, I need one of their nails. Enough of that. We don't do that. And we support this wonderful African Wildlife Foundation. So they've been there for 60 years and they do some phenomenal work all over the region of Africa. So you can see it right there, all these wonderful places. And we got Craig Solly, who's the president, and Carter Smith, who's the president for the safaris. Okay, so with them two, Craig, he's been around since 1973. He worked with the mountain gorillas in Uganda and Rwanda and Congo since the 80s. There was no camcorders back there. There wasn't even ICQ. He was right in the thick of it, understanding everything about the mountain gorillas, and his preservation and his work has led to him really being passionate about this. So imagine going on these African Wildlife Foundation trips with us. And these are your guides. And of course, Carter Smith, she's been around easily since 1994 when she moved to Africa. So she's been doing this for quite some time as well. So both these very knowledgeable people. And of course, you saw Craig had a nice little camera there. So I'll show you a little couple here bits. So 3 trips that I'm going to talk to you about in the African wildlife portfolio that we have. So one of them is Namibia Flying Safari. So what's great about these 3 trips coming up is that you're flying everywhere from A to B, B to C, C to D, and so on. So you're getting on flights all over the place to maximize time at destination, right? So this one here in Namibia, like I was saying to you, where we starting, this map looks pretty full on Windhoek, and you're going clockwise back to Windhoek, as you can see it right there itself. Now, this trip, we're doing it one time. It's not weekly. It's not twice a year. We're doing it one time with these 2 phenomenal ones. 11 days. You saw the price there for almost 18 grand, but there's a reason why. Not only are you getting flights, you're getting your own flight, number one. You're getting scenic bush flights. It's your own flight. You're not getting in with 50 people. This is just you guys as well. And of course, doing a little bit of game driving, you're going to be using 4-wheel vehicles. But I'm going to show you about the accommodation. And not only that, but what you're getting, because you met Carter and Sarah, they'll be the ones taking you around and making sure that you get the most knowledgeable thing. But in Namibia, wonderful place to go. You have the coastline, the Skeleton Coast, which is so fabulous. We have sand dunes, which are just spectacular. This is a bit for me, Danny. I know we talked about this in the beginning. It's like, where would you like to go, Danny? You're mentioning all these bucket list destinations that you want to go to. My place that I want to go to 100% is Namibia. I've never been. I don't know anything about Southern Africa or Western Africa, and I definitely want to put this on my list to go. So let's talking more pictures, please. Absolutely. So like I was saying to you, what's really good right here, see that last one right there? View wildlife during game drives with the Save the Rhino Trust Foundation, which is so nice as well. So these guys are going to go around and show you what it is that they do to maintain the population of the phenomenal rhinos that there are very few left in the world, and they're going to tell you how to do it. So talking about accommodation, like I said to you, we had hotels from 3 to 4 to 5 star. We might have some camping trips as well. We may have some manor houses, but on these African Wildlife Foundation trips, these are all glamping, perhaps a new term you're used to, glamorous camping, maybe not. So look at these phenomenal accommodation that you have here, right? So this is the one, it's a boutique hotel, 41 bedrooms. This is the one that's starting off. So this is how you start the trip. And then look at this. Is there anything much better than these couple right there hanging out? Yes, there is actually. It would be me sitting there, not them, but it's okay. I'll let this slide. But imagine nighttime, 7 p.m., you're having a glass of wine. Like, what? South Africa has some really good wine. I know, Pinot Tosh. Trust me, take my word for it. And you're sitting out there with the coastline and you hear some wait, I don't have any signal. Good. No signal. No crazy honking the horn. There's no notifications, nothing. Silence, you connected once again with what we are always meant to be, connected with nature. Go see the animals, go see nature, and with yourself, right? So not a bad place to be, this desert lodge, right? Over in Kulala, which is so nice. And this is the Desert Rhino Camp, which is so beautiful. As well as outdoor dinners, which again, at the same time, you're gonna have such just phenomenal views. And that little truck where there's what you're gonna be taking around to go see some phenomenal game drives when you're there. So it's a really, really good place in a really good area. And look at this as well as the more tented camps over in Ongaba, which is well. So we're not doing the typical national parks that people do when they go to Namibia. We're doing different ones. So many times when you go to these reserves, you'll be by yourself. Just think about that for a second. Of course, some of the phenomenal wildlife you'll get to see along the way. Can't beat that at all. So that's one trip. I'll move a little bit faster because I know the time and so on, but the second trip to Zimbabwe, the Wild Zambezi in Victoria Falls. Look at this one. That's the number of people we have, 10. That's it, not 16, not 20, 10 people right there itself. Where are we starting? Harare, heading down to the Save Valley, which is a very different area. Not many people go up there. And then, of course, to the Mana Pools and finishing off in Victoria Falls, which is such a great place. And you know about Victoria Falls versus Niagara Falls. I mean, if you want to compare it, you can, but Victoria Falls, the largest curtain in the world, right? So 10 days, the price is going up. Danny, what's going on? Because you're getting a lot more with this, a lot more experience. One day, September 4th to 13th again. And look at this phenomenon here. You can see the anti-poaching unit in action, more scenic bush flights into 3 diverse destinations. You can see here, lantern lit bush dinners. Come on, I'm in. It's getting to about -3. I can't do that anymore. Even with a portable fire pit, I'm not having as much fun as these people are going to in next September. I know that. River cruise and seeing hippos. I mean, who and what do you want to see in this area? It's up to you. Keep your eyes open. Don't fall asleep. One thing I will say, yeah, but I like sleeping in. I like, getting up at 8. Don't come on these trips. You have to get up early because the games love to get up early. The animals are up early, and trust me, these guys are not waiting for you. Like, did your alarm go off? You want to come see me? No, they don't care. You're going to get up early and you're going to enjoy it. So the lions, the hippos, the cheetahs, elephants, look at this cruise. That is you. That could be you right there. So the wildebeest, I'm told, lead the migration, but I've also been told it could be the impala. So again, this is the best thing when you go talk to the guys. Like, hey, I heard a rumor. Is it the wildebeest or the impala that lead the migration? They'll tell you all about that, right? And look at these phenomenal accommodations here as well, from the lodges, tented camps, get your own bathrooms there. You sit back there. It's got a fire pit. Oh my, this place is getting better and better. The pools over in the Livingston. And of course, this is all in Victoria Falls region, which you can be. Now I'm showing this because when people hear Zambezi, this is what they know the Zambezi for. When you go river rafting, level 5, and just absolutely do this. We're not doing that on this trip. We're not. I just want to show you this. You hear adventure travel. Yes, that is adventure. Not our type of adventure because it's experiences, okay? That's what I want to tell you. And lastly, Uganda. Oh, the pearl of Africa. I will tell you this right now. It's a beautiful, beautiful country. I was so happy to be there about 5 years ago. Did the gorillas myself, and this one is phenomenal. So let me tell you this. Again, 10 people in this group. Hello, things are getting better, right? So it started in Entebbe, which is so nice. Finished off there as well. Going to the valley, going to the Biwindi impenetrable forest. Who and what are we going to go see there? Oh, now we're talking. We're going back to Carter's hometown. He loves the gorillas more than anything else. Here's the best thing about this trip. So it's in February. It's not too far away from now. The price is going up because you're getting 2 gorilla trek permits, not one that everybody else gives you. We're giving 2 plus 1 chimpanzee trek permit included. Not only are you going to get that, you're also going to go visit a wonderful school down in, as you can see here, the AWF Classroom Africa local valley, because they like to help out the community. You know that, which is quite nice. Track the chimpanzees, the gorillas, the buffalo, the zebras. There's so many of there. So 4-wheel drives, flights, and boats. And you can see all your meals are included. You're not getting Uber Eats dropped off. Hey, can I get Uber Eats in near the in Biwindi impenetrable forest, please? No one's gonna do that. You get all your meals included, all the fun you can think of, and of course accommodation from this phenomenal hotel over in Entebbe, heading over to the safari lodges. Like, look at this. This again, family or locally owned. I want to tell you, and look at this view. Can you get any better than this? You're gonna be kidding me. The worst joke I ever said in my life, but I'm gonna say it one more time. It's such a phenomenal place. And the big highlight there is, of course, not only do you get to see the gorillas, not once, but you get to go twice. And trust me when I say this, it is the most phenomenal experience. And this is what happened to me in 2016, actually. So in 2016, this is what my trekking in the Biwindi impenetrable forest felt like. We went for a trek. Again, are the gorillas hiking? Did they do espresso in the morning? I don't know. They will be moving. You're tracking a family. So if that family is moving, you're moving with them, right? Our trek was only an hour and a half. It was so beautiful. And we came face to face with the gorillas, 1 hour with them, which is so beautiful. Okay. The highlight so far in my travel career, I'm not telling you this because I'm playing a video that I took. No, I truly, honestly mean this. Seeing the mountain gorillas in their natural habitat is the most wonderful thing ever. So that was in Uganda. So you can get them in Uganda, Rwanda, or the Congo, right? So that's the African Wildlife Foundation. Now we're talking about the RCGS, the Royal Canadian Geographic Society. Switching gears here. So this one, they've been around for, I didn't know this, but 90 years they've been around. So this is the first issues that they came out as Canadian Geographic back in the day. And of course, the great thing about them is also, they're really keen on making sure that we explore the country, that we get to see more of the wonderful area that is Canada. And I love this so much from them. So, and just the last thing at the bottom where it says here, for us, the terms geography and expeditions are synonymous. And I believe that 100%. So let's get to some expeditions. So look at this. So we have about 7 trips with the RCGS scheduled for 2022. Egypt, Kenya, Morocco, Southern Africa. We also have, we see here, there was Albania, there was Costa Rica and Nepal, which is great. So we have those. I'm going to talk about 4 of these right now. One of them, one of my favorite countries that I've been to, Egypt, right here. Of course, we're going with George Kourounis, which is a phenomenal human being. Let me tell you a little bit about him in a second, right? So from Alexandria, one of the first ancient wonders of the world. And then, of course, the pyramids of Cairo. So with these 2, you're seeing 2 of the ancient wonders of the world, which is so great. Remember the Hanging Gardens of Babylon and other ones. There's 7 of them, but I don't remember the other 4. Anyways, so what are we doing on this trip? This is a bit different. So this one here, you're gonna be spending, we're gonna be doing a few nights, 3 nights on a cruise boat, 1 night in a sleeper train, first class, and then the other nights are going to be 8 nights in 5-star hotels, which is quite nice. So on the river cruise, the Nile cruise that we'll be doing, the group is maximum 20. When you join the boat, it'll be maximum 100 people. And when you do the day trips, it'll be just the group itself going. Just want to make sure you know that about that, okay? One date, March 25th to April. So you can see here, what am I seeing? As you can see here, the pyramids. You go check out the Great Sphinx, which is absolutely stunning to see it. You go up to the monastery of Saint Simeon, doing a barbecue, going to Aswan and doing the Felucca ride, which is on the right. You're in Cairo, which is a spectacular city. You get to a rooftop, and all of a sudden you're looking around, building. Oh, pyramid, boom, 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 which is a phenomenal site here together. And of course, we're going with one of the explorer in residence, George Kourounis. Who is this George guy? I'm really curious about this George guy. So I found a clip about him. Here it is on National Geographic. This is what George decided to do. I'm going to take a little bit of water because it's getting pretty hot right now. So he's the first person. I'm just going to let you watch this for a second. I don't even want to ruin this moment with words. But he was the first person to ever walk and glide across an active volcano. Okay, and he made massive news on this. He was on RT, CTV, and big massive publications. This is the guy that will be taking you around. Now, you're not going to be doing these things. I want to let you know, but the sense of spirit is still there. He still wants to show you all the wonderful things because he is an explorer, right? So, and that's what the RCGS is all about. It's like, let's explore the country. Let's go see more of these adventures. Let's take it in and share it with people. So look at this clip. And George in the interview afterwards is saying because the camera was up here on him, he can see that it was melting a little bit. George, you are one awesome explorer. I love this guy a lot. Anyway, so let's go from the volcano here, heading over to some of the phenomenal accommodations that you'll be staying at right here. This is what I'm saying. You got pyramid hotels. You got some beautiful, I said like I'm going to show what the sleeper train and the cruise boat looks like. But again, 8 nights in 5-star hotels, which is quite beautiful. And then the sleeper train is 2 people maximum. It's going to be first class. You're going to get a ride from Cairo all the way to Aswan. 12 hours later, you are good to go. No doubt about that. You sleep so well, and oh, it's a great place to be. And on the right, I'm showing you images of what your 3 nights on the 5-star river cruise on the Nile will be all about right there. So in case you want to know, will I be able to connect? Yes, there's Wi-Fi, swimming pool, all that fun stuff there for you, which is so nice, right? So that's your exploration into Egypt, okay? And then of course we have other ones heading to Morocco on a, so the way we like to do our trips is that we have our standard departure for this one, highlights of Morocco, but then we also offer the same adventure premium with better accommodations, a little more comfortable. And that's what this one will be with Aliyah Jasmine Savani, aka AJ. She was a former MTV host here in Canada, went over to NBC, and she's very well featured all over both Canada and the US. So she's going to be taking people onto this phenomenal Morocco experience right here, which is going to be in September. So it's perfect time, because you know how it is. Morocco in August, woof, 52 degrees, bring it on. You know, us, we get summer for about 3 days a year and heading out to 50-degree weather. Why is that person not breathing? No. So we're going in September. It's going to be a little bit cooler. You know, so Imperial cities in Morocco, you're going to visit all four: Rabat, Meknes, Fez, and Marrakesh, which is phenomenal. In Marrakesh, when you go to the night market in Marrakesh, it is a wild scene. Like, you are really somewhere in a different location, but super safe. I want you to know that, right? So the Hammam village of Tiza, you're going to head to. You're going to go to the Sahara on a camel ride, spend the night in a Bedouin camp. Are we kidding me? That's the picture right in the middle right here. You're going to get some free time as well for you. And of course, the best thing I tell you, look, 10 nights boutique hotels in Riyadh. So they're going to show you 1 night of Burj, two nights in Mountain Geets, and 1 night Bedouin camp. Like, if we're talking about a variety of accommodation, this is it right here. So again, Marrakesh, the spices, the colors, the senses, the people, the fact that you get a head closer to Europe. Everybody out there starts to speak Spanish, going, whoa, why do you guys speak so Spanish out there? Because Spain's right there. And then as you get further down, then all of a sudden becomes Arabic and also French, believe it or not. So what a wonderful place. But again, Morocco, lovely people, very inexpensive, which is quite nice, very different. Okay, so again, just to give you a little bit of idea of what these riads and hotels will be looked at, this is what you're looking at. The whole reason why we choose these kind of accommodations, because we want you to see what the country is known for, local characters. That's what we want. Could we stay at a nicer 5-star Sheraton, Sofitel, Fairmonts? Yes, of course we could. Price will go up, right? But where's the money going? We don't want that. We want to give you local character from the destination, which is why we choose these places, right? From the Bedouin camp. Let me tell you, my only night I slept in a Bedouin camp outside Morocco was phenomenal. I thought, like everybody else here, I've seen the Scorpion King. I've seen a couple of these movies out there. They're gonna, no, it's not. That's not happening. We wouldn't do that if it was unsafe. We probably would have stopped this years ago, right? You know that. So the Bedouin camp experience, to be able to just sleep under the stars is absolutely stunning, and the people there are so warm and welcoming. That's what I'm getting at. This Morocco trip itself is going to be absolutely stunning. So just keep that in mind. 2 more trips that I'll talk to you about. And this is one that Danny and I were talking about. It was Albania. I'm like, yes, that's a country that begins and ends with the same letter, A, Albania. And I went to Albania last year. No, it wasn't. 2 years ago, sorry. Things just got in my brain from COVID, right? But 2 years ago, I went to Croatia, and then I said, you know what? I'm going to go to Albania. This sounds pretty fun. I did. And I went there, and what my misconceptions of Albania was like, I don't really know what's going to happen here. I don't have a clue. I went to Albania, and it was the most wonderful experience, an unexpected one. The people were so great. Everybody's really friendly. Guess what? There's not a lot of tourists out there. So if you think of South America, Peru, everybody goes to Peru. Right next door, you have a phenomenal country called Bolivia that very few people visit. That's Albania. Albania is next door to Croatia, and everybody goes to Croatia, and very few people go to Albania. Here's the crazy part. The same coastline and good wine and cheap. Wait and see what's going to happen in Albania in the next couple of years. It's going to be like the place to go to. I trust it. And who is this John Greer guy? Who is he? He's the current CEO of the RCGS, which is not bad. So this guy's been around for a long time. He's the president at one point, up to 2013, I believe. So for the last 8 years, he's been the CEO of the RCGS, which is such a wonderful place. So look at the UNESCO sites you'll go visit. Berat, Brunit, Brunashek. I'm not going to try to pronounce the last one, but Rokaster. Let's do it right now. But you're going to be able to have some phenomenal food and wine. And let me tell you this right now. You're thinking, did he say wine? Yes, I did. Montenegro, Macedonia, Albania. If you ever want to try some different wine, try and keep an eye out on this region. This region for this wine is phenomenal. It is so nice. I'm introducing people to like, you need to have some Macedonian wine. And no one's ever heard of it, but trust me, the Branagh, it is so good. And obviously I don't have a bottle here and just hand it my desk. So, hey guys, this is what I have. No, but it's such a great place. So in Albania, the food and the wine, I did not know what to expect. And I'm not telling you what you want to hear because we're being recorded. I'm telling you, I was blown away how beautiful this was. So of course, what else have we seen with John Greer? He's an explorer. This guy's gonna take you around to many, 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 many places here. So we're going to be following the footsteps of Julius Caesar and historical monuments, you know, that the amphitheaters all the way to museums. Like, I mean, everything you can think of is going to be in the hands of John Greer. So this is 10 days, about 2,300 Canadian. This is all land only, right? So we call Danny, hey, Danny, I want to go to Albania. How do you hook me up? Yeah, you're going to be flying to Tirana. Tirana, not Toronto. Okay, I know you don't want to make that mistake. Just want to put it out there. Let me show me a couple of things that will be seen in Albania. I'm telling you right now, a super extremely safe country. It is so safe. It is so wonderful. It's so beautiful, so undiscovered. So we have the sea, we have the coastline, we have some history, we have some phenomenal villages and UNESCO sites. What else do we have? Greenery. I am telling you, this country blew me away. I was, again, very fortunate that have traveled in Albania to see this in firsthand. And I will tell you this right now, this is going to be the hotspot in about 2-3 years time when people start going to more of Eastern Europe. I want to see more, right? And a place that blew up, this is my last trip I'll talk about, the place that blew up easily about 10, 15 years ago, Costa Rica itself, right? In Costa Rica here, heading over with Andrew Lovesey, who loves his buffs. I'm telling you, this guy's, he loves his buffs. But in this one here, starting in San Jose, heading over to Tamarindo, Liberia, Rincon de la Vieja, and a few places. So we're not doing the typical Costa Rica stuff of Monteverde. Hey, where's Santa Elena? Where's Manuel Antonio? We're not doing that. We have those other trips as well. But for these ones, we're going to explore different areas. So we're heading over to Rio Celeste, or the blue, as you can see it there on the top left, the waterfall, the Blue River. So you're going to go doing some tubing. You're going to be doing, you're going to be cruise along and look at some dolphins on a catamaran, the hot springs in Rincon de la Vieja, which is so nice. And then of course, something that I really going to tell everybody to do. One of the fun things is right there, zip lining along the treetops. I'm telling you, Costa Rica is the adventure capital of Central America. I want to put it out there with South America as well. Like, it's really, really difficult to beat Costa Rica when it comes to adventure stuff. So 8 days, $4,000 right there. This is in January. This is literally next thing you know, it'll be like in a month's time from now, right? So in Costa Rica, I talked to you and you already seen what the Esquinas Rainforest Lodge does. This all super sustainable. They produce their own water, making sure that everything, they benefit from the community. And also, I don't know if you missed this, but with our help, they purchased 14,000 hectares, which is about 3 size of Manhattan, the city, rainforest, to make sure that it doesn't get chopped down into, a condominium or toothpicks. That's the wonderful thing. So what are we going to see in Costa Rica? I mean, look at the wildlife. They're home to 5% of the world's biodiversity. So just have an idea. And since you're going to the less visited areas, not Monteverde, not La Fortuna, not Manuel Antonio, Jaco, or any of these places, you're going to the north, not even Tortuguero. We're going to different places altogether. That's what I'm talking about. So these are 4 of the 7 RCGS trips. I talked to you about the African wildlife trips as well. And I will close this by saying the following: in 2022, when people are calling me and say, hey, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? A lot of people are looking for active travel to get out there and do it. I don't blame us, because we've been sitting around here having a lot of peanut butter in the last 1.5 years. It's time for us to go out there and walk and cycle. So if you'd like to join groups, we have them. We also have self-guided trips that are active for you from level 1. Hey, you asked for it, right? Of course, bucket list destinations, like I was saying to you. You saw Uganda, you see the gorillas. The rise of the conscious traveler is once again here. Before, you used to just call Danny and say, hey, I want to get out of here tomorrow. I don't care where I go. I just want to go and take my pictures. That's fine. People are now becoming more conscious of where and how they want to spend their money, their time, their energy, and give it back to communities. So people are becoming more conscious about their actions, especially when it comes to travel with the whole global with climate change and everything persisting, this temperature is rising. People are deciding, I want to be cautious with how I want to travel. So these bucket list destinations and sustainable ones as well, like let's say Kilimanjaro, Nepal, doing the safaris, you name it. There's so many wonderful experiences that people are looking for. They want to connect back to themselves. And of course, this is one that I kind of think it's great to see is like, hey, bring your parents and your kids. You got babysitters, right? No, you're telling me these are phenomenal trips. We have family trips, those are self-guided. Some of them are minimum age 1, but these trips are so great to be able to see 2 or 3 different generations, because at the end of the day, you know, we're a family, and, you know, let's just be grateful for all the wonderful times that we spent together, right? We do have one promotion, which Danny will tell you all about, and that is 2 for 2022. So if you're, say you want to book a couple of these RCGS or just a couple of trips for 2022, you'll get 5% off your second trip, as long as you travel both trips by the end of the year. Danny will give you all that information, right? And who's Danny, you're asking? Like, this guy keeps mentioning Danny. I don't see Danny anywhere. He's right there. Smiling, yellow, white shirt right there. There he is. And that's how you get a hold of him right there. AlmonTravel.ca. You get his phone number, knock on his door. He's a very friendly person. That's all I got to say to you, right? So other than that, Danny, I think that's all I got to say for now.
Well, Tony, it's funny. I did a number of Facebook posts, promoting this presentation, and one of the things I keyed in one was your enthusiasm and your sense of humor, and they both came out very, very well.
Thank you, Danny.
I had myself on mute, and I'm kind of glad I did, because I was really snorting, chuckling with some of your descriptions. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Tony, I had a few things that I made notes on. You know, one of the things that I'm very impressed with, and I have to say that before my conversations with you, which have gone back probably about 8 months since we first got in touch with each other, I didn't know anything about your company. And I have to say, the more I've learned about it over time, the more I'm impressed with it. You just have some incredible different offerings. I know that the first ones, the African Wildlife Foundation ones that you were talking about, are true bucket list. These are not ones that you're going to go to one and then go to another one the next year. These are trips that you have to be dreaming about, and because it's not inexpensive. It's going to cost money to be able to go there, considerable amount of money. But I'm looking at what was being offered there. I know that the gorillas, to get passes to go and see them, is incredibly expensive. I don't know how much it is for one trip, but it seems to me it was like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for one trip to get a pass to go and visit them once. So
oh yeah.
Yeah, so very expensive. So those are true bucket list things. I like the fact that your company offers equal opportunity. The 10 women porters being trained, or not porters but guides. But I was watching on your website. There was a guide on the Machu Picchu Trail who actually became a porter for the length of time it took to go, from the starting point to the Machu Picchu site, and it was all videotaped. And it moved me because he was interested in finding out what the porters actually went through. He lived as best he could according to what they had to experience. Mm-hmm. That's what Exodus seems to be all about. It's they really want to be knowledgeable about what the area is all about.
That's right, Danny. And just to add to that, that guide was a client. He was a client. He's an Irish guy.
Yeah. Came
on our Inca Trail trips, I believe in 2017, realized that the porters have never seen Machu Picchu on the Inca Trail.
Oh, wow.
Imagine, like, this is the example I use. Imagine you're a safari driver in the big migration. Is like, there's a lion. Okay, let me know when you're done so I can drive. That's exactly, I can't think of any other way to do it. So we say, it's not fair. It's not fair that porters are, I've done the Inca Trail a number of times, double digits. And I tell you this, these are hardworking people. They're using rubber shoes that are made out of tires. Yeah. Sometimes don't wear any socks, okay? And they're walking 2,700 to 4,000 meters above sea level, sleeping, making sure that your tents are put up. So they work very hard. Yeah. I'm not gonna take anything away from them, but I will say this. He found out, he's like, no, I'm going to go and do it, be a porter. And he did it. And that film called Carried Away shows him escorting the group of porters for the first time that they ever saw Machu Picchu. It was the first time any porters have ever seen Machu Picchu, any of them. So we kept our promise to bring all 200 porters to see Machu Picchu in a year and a half.
Wow, that's amazing. And again, shows what Exodus is all about. Accommodations in Namibia. We have been to South Africa, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and what's the other one there? Anyway, there's four countries we were down there. We got to see Vic Falls, and we got to look at some of the beautiful accommodations on safari, which a lot of these, as you say, glamping. Quite amazing, the quality of where you're going to be staying, and usually plunked right down in a place where wildlife will be walking right around you. It's quite amazing. We spent time at Vic Falls too, stunning. Chobe River with elephants, we spent time there as well. And I must say that our trip to the South Africa area was unbelievable. I would like to do it again. We've also done Egypt. You've described that very nicely and brought some wonderful memories back for us there. We've done the river cruise and the land tour. One thing, we were only over there for 7 or 8 days. I noticed your trip is 10 days and starts in Alexandria. That's a wonderful start. I would add Jordan, Petra, and maybe 4 or 5 days on the other side of that too. So
I would too.
Yeah, Egypt is my favorite trip that I've ever taken. The small size, 100 people on a river cruise, that's wonderful. The cruise I was on, I think, held about 200 people, which is still fairly small, but that's good. What else? Cairo Museum, Valley of the Kings, all the temples that we saw there, etched into my memory forever. Albania, yeah, you and I were talking about that a couple of days ago, and I said, "What? You're right. The look on your face was probably mirrored by about one on mine." But yes, when we talked about the different pictures and comparing it to Croatia, absolutely incredible. And you're right, inexpensive, relatively speaking, and definitely worth a look. Costa Rica. We've spent time in Costa Rica. You're off the beaten track with yours. We were in San Jose, Manuel Antonio, Arenal area, Guanacaste. We went to many of the touristic spots, and some of those are things that you've talked about, but you go off the beaten track. I was introduced to zip lining, 2 zip lines there. The first one was a double wire zip line, and I owned that every time I went down from top to the next one was a single wire, and it owned me completely, terrified me. So it was, I think it was 2/3 of a mile, and the drop at the middle was about 700 meters. Nice. I was thinking, I was not thinking pleasant thoughts as I was going across that. So probably my last experience with zip line is certainly with a single line. So really enjoyable. Tony, it's been fantastic. I really appreciated your commentary, your enthusiasm, as it was in the last presentation, is just absolutely catching. And I know that I am very interested in some of the offerings that Exodus has, and I'm sure when people get to see this, they will as well. I'm going to close this presentation by reminding the viewers of next week's webinar on Tuesday, November the 30th at 6:30 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, as we explore a company that offers incredible value, in my opinion, on tours with a very different focus, a company called Rail Bookers with Chris David, who will expose us to a very different type of travel, which is by rail all over the world. I was absolutely mesmerized with what they offer around the world. So again, Tony, thanks very, very much for your presentation. I was entertained and thrilled listening to it, and I'm sure that people who watch this will be as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me here, Danny, and I'm sure we'll do this in the new year. Wishing you the best November, the wonderful December, the holidays that come, and the best of times is yet to come, my friend. So thank you.
Let's hope so. Thank you very much, Tony.
No worries. Take care of yourself. Have a good day, okay?